It has been a long while since our last post. More on that later. We are still here, and I do want to continue to document this project. As a very quick review, we are refitting this 1979 Sabre and making huge changes. The cabin may look acceptable at first glance, but in this video we'll share what has happened over time and what we've found. The engine came out, the galley was removed, the quarter berth is getting redesigned. So we're going to redesign this whole area here. This is the aft V berth. Normally ends up being just a catch area for stuff. So the initial plan is we're going to move this a little forward. So this is coming out. You can see the level of the seat right here. I'm just going to bring this level back, and then if it works at that level, great. If not, we're going to just raise it a little bit and then have a folding type seat area to where you at least have a little bit of a backrest. The bilge and hull was either lightly ground, sanded, or cleaned with a paint removal tool to remove all the old grime and loose material to make it ready for bilge paint. As we progressed forward, we were in demo mode. If there were questions on the condition of something, I took it out before we could change our mind. Water had been leaking down the chain plates on both sides, more on the starboard side. Water was also leaking in the port lights. This area was actually mush. We were pretty surprised about how that vinyl that they had just kind of hid everything. So here's the reveal of the chain plate. Did this last night, and I clamped this together so I'd have a good surface here, so we'll see how it turns out. I was actually pretty surprised by how lightly items were tabbed to the hull with the fiberglass. Most items could be wiggled pretty easily. So here are the examples of the wood that came out next to the chain plate. So this is the shelf that was there, and the water was running underneath the vinyl that they had, and all of this is just delaminated, and then this is just totally rotten. So the other piece that was attached to this was also very bad. And this is the chain plate. The chain plate is strong, but the top one up here is very compressed. I was able to, like put my fingernail into here. I still am. So it's on its way out. So I'm glad I switched them out. This is a milestone. This is the first piece being put back into the boat. I used 1" by 1" pieces of black locust to reinforce the marine plywood pieces that I put back into the boat. This piece is mounted back here, and then I temporarily put a piece on the other side of the cabinet so that I had a level line. Ran these through the joiner, so I have two pieces with perfectly straight from level to level, and then I put these in place. So this would be the top edge of this line, and ran these through the joiner too, so they're very, very straight. And now we're gonna make this bulkhead here. All of these odd shaped pieces, I just used 1" Lawan with some hot glue to make templates, and then transferred that to the marine plywood. This part of the build was fun for me because there was always the next step. There was always thinking 3 steps down the road, and there was always something to do. And Finn is always a good helper in these situations. Quality control would occasionally show up on the job site to discuss options and plans and ideas. I also started constructing the supports that will support the floor and the battery behind the electric motor. Organized here. This is a shelf for the battery box that's going to go here. And then I'm going to make like a false floor here. So I've already epoxied in this piece. And then I'm making this to where I could take this off if I ever need to get in here. Then I'll put a floor here and put non-skid. So this piece goes right here. So we're gonna position, I think it's 18 inches from this forward edge. 17 and a half. It's 18. This needs to go this way. And that way this will be anchored in place right there. Give us a place to stand when we pop down here. Nice level. And that way nothing will like slide into the batteries. So we're gonna epoxy this in place today. And then I'll clean up this whole area. And this whole area will get a coat of bilge paint. Work progressed fairly quickly. I was working on a few parts of the boat at once. Computer backups are a good thing, sometimes not frequent enough. I did lose some footage of designing the nav station. I painted the hull with Total Boat's bilge paint. I can't say enough good things about their product. It applies easily and is very durable. I left these two areas open, not painted, because once I get the shelf in, I'm going to tab that in. That shelf will go back in there. But before I do that, I've seen other channels handle the condensation that occurs with using this exercise mat. So I'm going to put a layer of exercise mat along the hull, and then, you know, with the cooler water and humid air, you have condensation on the walls, and this kind of helps with that. And especially since we're sailing in pretty cool waters and we want to explore north as well, the waters will get colder. For the cabin sole, the teak was fine, but the supports underneath definitely needed some help. I removed the soft spots and reinforced the structure underneath with plywood. A future project, we may replace this cabin sole. For our galley countertop, we looked at several options. We decided on Corian, but we found you can't buy Corian directly from a vendor. Vendors only sell directly to licensed contractors. We did find a solution to this: our local Habitat for Humanity resale store. We found some Corian that will supply what is needed for the boat. The cabin reveal. So let's go around and can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay. So the cabin reveal, we went ahead and painted the teak because there was just too many shades of wood, and I think it kind of looks better and complements everything else. This is pretty much the same as what it was. Put a light up here, and then this whole area here is moved out just a little bit to give us a little bit more storage room. So we got plenty of chips, and we decided just to use baskets up here. They work really well. They don't fall off when we're on a heel. And Julie made all these cushions. And this folds out, this slides out to here. So this is a double bed. And then we store all kinds of stuff in there. And this is where the tank was, the sewage tank. So it's nice to have that sewage tank out of here with the composting head. And, you know, there's no smell. So coming around, I put some little just lockers for various things in here. We're going to put binoculars up here, gloves, a little bit of rope if you need it. Various things. I put a little cup holder and drawer for some stuff. And this also supports the nav station. I made this from a piece of mahogany that I had. And the Raspberry Pi that's running the navigation system is inside of here. There's the OpenCPN software. And I'll describe the electrical in a minute, but I have a little electrical panel in here. You can stay back there. So I can zoom in.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I have an electrical panel in here that distributes this load, but I got plenty of USB. There's 4 USB connectors up there. And there's some USB connectors and 12 volt plugs underneath. And then the NEMA 2000 network goes straight across the back there and up into here. We have a Vesper which handles our AIS, VHF communications. It also supports the GPS, feeds the GPS into here, and our handset here, and we also have a handheld radio there. So this, all of these kind of things, there's some storage in here. Is where I keep my tools. And then if we want to, this will come out, and this stores underneath here. I'd have to move this out of the way, but this would go in here to where we have another seat. And then this year is a new addition because the fridge over there worked, but it wasn't as efficient as we wanted it to. So I put this on rollers, drawer slides, and then we have a fridge. So this is constantly running, and we have cold beer all the time. The solar is enough to support the cold refrigerator and support all the electronics. You don't have to worry about power. But this works really well, and I'm able to use my laptop and just program away or work on a chart or whatever. So Corian countertops, we're using that for storage right now. And in the back here we have trash and recycle. That's where they would go out there. We have the cans in the other side. The trash used to be right here, so if you had it open, you had the danger of always stepping in the hole. We got a composite sink, I guess that's what it's called, resin sink. And then this pot holder is awesome. It works really well. We don't have hot and cold, but if we need hot, we just warm it up on the stove and we're good to go. So we have a little bit more work to do here. We're going to put a little shelf in, and then you got these things at TJ Maxx, right? Mm-hmm. So we just have various storage containers here. So this has worked awesome. I was debating on whether to do shelves or drawers or cabinets, and the way it's constructed is it holds it in place when we're on a heel. This slides out, locks in place. So then we have a gimbaled stove, works pretty well, and then when we're not using it, we can push it up out of the way. So this has a drawer in it to store some stuff. That's where we put some rags and some winch handles. And then this was our solution to prevent these drawers from opening up when we're going. So all of this cherry came from a neighbor's tree that I milled up. So mainly dishes. And that's in place. This comes out for storage while you're cooking. This comes down for more storage in here, so pots and pans. And we have sailboat necessities like the bosun's chair and other things that we keep in there. coffee's up here, and we have a microwave, so we can turn the inverter on, and I can make a bag of popcorn, which is really cool when we're on anchor somewhere. And then this storage underneath here is all of what she's keeping as food, right? And we have some safety gear up there. We also have our, on the outside, storage area. That's where we keep the life jackets and cushions for the outside and stuff. But the ceiling header or ceiling was painted. These lights work out really good. These lights are pretty expensive. I forget what they cost, like $125 a piece. But we can have red or white, and they're really, really nice. We replaced this. The other one just kind of crumbled in my hand. So that's all rewired. This is rewired. This was the fridge circuit. There's our solar charge controllers, and this is all rewired. And I can change the wiring for the solar panels to where we're feeding the house bank instead of the motor and the house bank, which is kind of cool. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then this side is the 24 volts from the house bank comes into here and distributes to various loads. Gets converted to 12 volts and into here, and then I run one into here and I run one into the V-berth so that we can have loads distributed up there. So that's about it. Do you have anything that you can think of?
No.
No. So, but this I think has worked the best. I mean, the settee is really nice.
Yeah, and super comfortable and versatile.
When we're an anchor, it's really comfortable. And then to be able to have this compared to what it was, it's actually usable. Because you could actually sit at the desk this way too. So it works either way. In the quarter berth back here, we covered it with this material here, which is a thicker material, and it's called hull blanket, and it's made by Sailrite. And we sprayed it on with adhesive,
3M
contact
trim.
3M trim adhesive. And it's awesome. It really made a difference where it's not the fiberglass. And we also put just stick-on backsplash, which is kind of nice. So yeah, she was holding the camera, and we're on our mooring in Camden Harbor, and it's pretty rolly right now.
Yeah, which is unusual.
Or storms. So if you have, I'll try to put the stabilization on when I go to final edit. So we're really happy with the cabin. I think there's nothing in it that we would have changed if we would have done it over again.
And we did it in pieces. Like, we kind of like figured out, okay, that works.
Yeah.
But because a couple of our original ideas, I'm glad we didn't do.
Right.
So it was kind of it took a while.
Yeah, and then just working out all the details with, how you want to do the drawers was just, it wasn't trial and error, but as we came down, we just had an idea and we would go with it. Yeah. And, painting the teak, we've had people ask us, why'd you paint the teak? It's like, well, to us, it looks much better in this space. It brightens up the space.
And Sabres are known for being really dark boats. And we needed a light space.
Right. And it's easy to maintain. So if we get a ding, we can just touch it up.
Right.
So that's it for this episode. The next episode I'm already working on is for the motor and the battery system. And we're getting closer to showing the completed product. So this is the first part of the completed product that you've seen. This is actually 2024. We know we're very delinquent on our videos, but her dad got placed, COVID ended, we had newfound freedoms.
We had 2 new grandchildren. Yeah, it was like... And
we were membership committee of the yacht club. I redesigned the web page. Work was busy, so 100 reasons.
Yeah.
And I just prioritized the YouTube down at the bottom because it does take time to produce these videos. So until next time.
See ya.
See ya.